हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। सो चलिए शुरू करते हैं आज की वीडियो। पॉलिटिकल साइंस, चैप्टर नंबर 1 अथॉरिटी, पार्ट नंबर 1 रीडिंग एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग। Authority. Authority is one of the fundamental ideas of political life. From ancient kingdoms to modern democracy, societies have continuously debated who has the right to rule, how power should be exercised, and what makes authority legitimate. Will the form of governance may change over time. The essential purpose of authority to maintain order, ensure justice, and promote the welfare of the people remains constant. In India, the idea of authority has evolved from ancient reflections and discipline, justice, and strength to a modern constitutional framework grounded in a democracy and the rule of law. Understanding this evolution helps us see how authority today is both limited by law and strengthened by citizen participation. In this chapter, we will examine how the ideas of authority developed in ancient India, political thought, and how it evolved into its modern constitution form. We will explore the relationship between Danda discipline, Nyaya justice, and Bala strength. Understand the constitutional foundations of authority in India. And analyze the role of citizens and democratic institutions in sustaining legitimate and welfare oriented governance. Introducing to authority. Definition, definition and nature of authority. Authority, at its simplest form, is the recognized right to lead, decide, and be obeyed. It is what separates a government from a gang. Both may have power, but only one has legitimacy. When a police officer stops traffic drivers held not mer- merely because the officer is physically present, but because they recognize the officer's legal right to direct them. The recognition freely given by the government is the essence of authority. Think about it. Why do people obey authority even when no one is watching them? Think of situations such as following traffic rules late at night or standing in a query. What does it tell us about the difference between authority and free of punishment? In political theory, authority refers especially specifically to the legitimate exercise of power, that is, power accepted as rightful by those who are governed. It is crucial to distinguish authority from mere raw power or coercion. Will power is the ability to influence or others, often through the threat of office or force or physical dominance. Authority is rooted fundamentally in legitimacy. This means the people obey not only out of fear of punishment, but because they recognize the moral essential or legal rights of the authority figure to lead. Authority therefore combines three essential elements: legitimacy, acceptance by people; order, maintenance of rules; and responsibility, accountability for decision. In a functional society, authority acts as the essential social glue that binds diverse individuals into a functioning community. It transforms a group of people into a structured society by ensuring that Rules are followed voluntarily. This voluntary compliance allow for collective progress and the maintenance of peace without the constant presence of armed force. The three elements of authority: legitimacy, responsibility, order. Therefore, the nature of authority is inherently social and relational. It exists only when the governed acknowledge the right of the governor to rule. Without such recognition, authority risks degeneration into mere force. Importance of authority in historical and modern contexts. A brief overview of how authority has been understood across history helps set the stage for understanding India's own rich tradition of political thought across civilizations and time periods. The central questions have has also always been the same: what gives someone the right to rule? The answers have varied: divine blessing, military construct, heredity, birthright, or popular election. But the underlying need for authority has remained constant because without it, organized society cannot function. In the historical context, particularly in ancient and medieval society, authority was often centralized in the people of a monarchy. This authority was frequently viewed through the lens of scar duty, where king and emperors were seen as custodians of the cosmic and social order. Their authority was understood as a responsibility to protect the people and uphold dharma, ritual, conduct, and moral order. Ancient India political thinkers such as Kautilya and the author of Shukanti did not view authority as absolute or arbitrary. They liked authority with discipline, danda, justice, nyaya, and strength, bala, emphasizing that a ruler's power must serve social stability and view public welfare. However, in the modern context, authority is defined through the principles of constitutionalism and the rule of law. In contemporary democratic system, authority is no longer the personal property or birthright of a ruler. It is a temporary trust granted by the people through elections and governed by a constitutional. Today, authority is distributed across different organs of government: the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary, to ensure a system of check and balances. In India, the constitutional guarantees justice, liberty, equality, and society security to tell all citizens, thereby defining authority as countable, limited, and welfare oriented. This modern framework ensures that authority is strictly bound by legal and constitutional limits to prevent tyranny and to guarantee that the state remains a servant of the people. Roots of authority in Indian political thought. Authority in Kautilya's political thought. Kautilya, the visionary strategic, also known as Chanakya, provide one of the most sophisticated analysis of authority in his monumental work. And he argued that authority is the indispensable instrument for achieve Yukashima, the combined goal of welfare, yoga, and security. Keshma of the people, Kautilya famously warned against the state of Matsya Nyaya, the law of the fish. a condition of anar- anarchy in which the strong devour the weak in the absence of a regulating authority. Amazing fact: the concept of Matsya Nyaya, the law of the fish, is one of the world's oldest descriptions of anarchy. Indian thinkers used this simple nature-based metaphor over 2000 years ago to explain why human beings need a system of rule and justice to service. The goal of authority, Goyokshama, authority, Go, Yoga welfare plus Keshma security, Yogeshma, overall well-being and protection of the people. To Kautilya, the sovereign authority was not an instrumental for personal luxury or ego but a serious and constitutional responsibility. He asserted that in the happiness of his subject lies the king's happiness. Suggestions that the legitimacy of authority depends upon the ruler's ability to provide protection, manage the economy, and ensure accessible justice. Thus, authority was inseparable from public welfare and moral responsibility. For Kautilya, a ruler without authority cannot protect the state, and a ruler without justice cannot sustain authority. थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग गाइस। अगर आपको ये छोटी सी वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो तो हमारे चैनल को लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब जरूर करें।